Kindergarten is the first inclusive preschool in Singapore that takes in 30% children with added needs. We are giving the children an opportunity to play, to learn, and to grow together. My mission, to create a world inclusive society. It's all about mindset. If you're open to it and you're ready to accept it, half the battle is already won. Children, they have certain needs, yeah. They might have some social skill or language problem, but those are areas whereby you can overcome and learning can still take place if they're being accepted. And I'm very fortunate to have a team of teachers here who actually shares my vision, my mission.
It's bread.
Besides my teachers, I have my early interventionists, associate psychologists, OT, occupational therapists.
6, okay. 4 and 5.
And as well as my speech and language therapists. We are trying to work together as a team, as a multiple disciplinary team, although we come from different culture.
So our objective for today is to understand what is curriculum adaptation. In Kindle Garden, it's a different approach. Over here, we try to do it as natural as possible. Yeah, and we don't want the other kids to think that, hey, this child is different and she's doing a different worksheet or something. But that's why we try to be as natural as possible. By mixing them together, I believe it gives them a motivation and improve their self-esteem. Rain, you have to ask nicely. You have plenty in your hand. Yeah, good asking.
What do you have? No, what do you have in your box? You have apples, right? You finish your apples first. Then maybe when I ask Auntie Yuliani if there's extra, I can give you one piece. But first, you must finish your apple first. Okay? No kicking.
Many of us come from a traditional mainstream setting. So coming here was like, an eye-opener and in a sense, being thrown in the deep end of the sea. Understanding why the child behaves the way he or she behaves, triggers, what to do during meltdowns,
I count to 5, you gotta go. 1, 2, let's see who's the fastest one. Is it me or you? It's me.
The solution is not like concrete. Sometimes what we do at this moment works only in this moment because of the context. Other times it has to change. And it's not just for those with needs. Even those without needs, they have their own issues as well.
In the first place, is it about saying sorry? What's the problem here? I also can beat you, and I can say sorry. How will you feel? What is the most important thing here?
So they bring along their weaknesses, they bring along their strengths, they bring along their differences along. I think that's what inclusion also needs to be about. It's not just about including children with special needs or with added needs. It's about including everyone, everyone who is different. Yeah.
When you say Chloe, come, let's go, huh? Let's go. Yeah, you must tell her. Yes. Come, let's go. You say we go.
Hair?
Hair.
Hair?
Hello, mommy.
Hat. Hat.
That means you put all your Superman hair.
Very good. Next one.
Usually when parents first come in, they have an orientation with us. So some of the questions that they ask when they first came in will be, what is the curriculum like? Will my kid be slowed down, the progress of my kid? How's your lesson like? And we will share with them that we have personalized learning plans for each of them. So most of them are quite comforted by the fact that their children have individualized plans. So they understand that we look at their needs, all of their needs individually. and not as a whole.
You need to write a sentence with one word. You can choose a hen, hat, hit, or his.
A hat was on my head.
He?
On my head.
Okay, thank you, Rin. Go on the black line and be perfect.
Material-wise, what we do is we modify the resources, so that it will help them. We're looking at individual needs. Whatever that you need to support your learning, we will just do that for you.
W.
And it actually helps the child in that sense, in terms as emotionally and self-confidence, self-esteem.
Cannot just focus only on the academics, because as we know, the children with added needs might have some difficulty catching up. So we have to strike a balance with our curriculum. We have to also include things like outdoor sports, physical activities, then the social emotional aspects as well, story time.
Splish, splash, splosh. This is Goldie the fish. You are right.
So all this gives a good balance to show the strengths and weakness of every child, so that for the strengths we can then celebrate together. For the weakness, it could be more so to, okay, let's work on something. What can we work on together to help each other?
I feel that they accept that there are differences with their friends, and they do not have to do the same things all at the same time. So initially when they came in, all of them have this mindset that, whenever teacher gives an instruction, everybody has to follow, and as a class, it's very normal to them that we have to do this together. But now that they have this experience where some of them are faster, some of them are slower, and they understand that it's okay. It's just that culture of understanding, and you hear less negative words used. A lot more positive words that they use about their friends. Instead of, oh, so-and-so can't do this, it's more like, so-and-so can do this. They start to understand that whatever their peers do is an achievement.
Okay, high five, then we sit down, we continue story. High five, each hand with hand.
And it's also about explaining their actions to each other. Children at this age, 4 to 6, they already have so much problems communicating with each other because of lack of vocabulary, social skills.
Can I share your book? Okay, you ask her, can I share your book, Lauren? Ask. Okay, she's learning how to say it, okay?
What more for children with added needs?
Thank you, Lauren.
So the thing that I do is also to help to explain their actions.
Phoebe is nice, but if you listen carefully, you know what she's trying to say. She sometimes bites Alika's hand that she did before.
You naughty ah? Ayo, why? Why you naughty?
Go.
Teacher scold. Okay.
And Phoebe said something really funny. She asked me to go home and put cream and it's better already.
You're forgiving.
Yeah, we need to forgive people, right? Because if you don't forgive people, you have lesser and lesser friends.
Wait, only the firefighters can operate that. Yeah, where's your partner? You have to walk with your friends. I think the children's performance and reactions exceeded my expectations. They actually improve a lot socially and emotionally, where compared to when I first came in, a lot of them are more understanding, and then their performance has also improved a lot.
Lien, what do you want to eat? What you want to eat? You want egg? Or you want... What you want? Or you want porridge?
I have seen that, children who are struggling to even eat when they first came in, now, even we didn't give them specific instructions, like we didn't sit next to them all the time and make sure they hold their spoon nicely. But because of their friends and because of the team that we have, everybody has been working on it bit by bit. We see that improvement come slowly. And we realize that we hear the parents saying things like, oh, how is my child interacting with other children in the class? Have they been helpful? And they will tell me things like, oh, I've been asking my child to also look out for children who need help. And that's very, very heartwarming. So it's the mindset that has actually changed a lot.
The children, they inspire me, yes, because inclusion is not something that is achieved by knowing more and more head knowledge. It is something to do with the heart. For instance, the very same girl that usually gets overly emotional because people touch her things, right? It's the same girl that stood up to me and tell me that her friend who has autism needs more time.
Sometimes Rin always push me and cry. Like that. Push. But it's okay.
Why?
She's still learning. And I still love Warren.
So I see that my student, she can't explain what autism is better than I do, but she's able to relate to her better than I do.
I need a new paper. Okay, I'll get one paper for you. Okay.
She's able to understand, that moment. Sometimes, as teachers, we might overlook.
If you do it again, I will throw away your paper. Don't scold Rin. Rin is still learning. I'm not scolding.
And I believe that that opens up so much possibilities. That sometimes it's not about head knowledge, but it's about the heart.
Yeah, colorful purple.
I think inclusion is important nationwide because the improvement is remarkable for children with added needs and without needs also.
Okay, change partner A. Yeah, come on boys, change.
So even in our school, which is actually quite small, we can see such a remarkable improvement. I think it will be even more significant if a lot more of us are doing it.
So from preschool level, when you build it up, right, it just becomes a norm, a way of life. It's a lot harder when you want to tell an adult to change their mindset. But children, from a very young age, if you really mold them to think positively about others or to include others in their environment, it just becomes a very natural way of doing things. It's not forced upon them, which is very important.
Of course, I worry about what will happen when he leaves kindergarten. But then if we give them the right skills, even if they were to graduate, they will know how to survive out there. This is what we want. We want to empower them.
If I put this, what will
And on the other side, with the skills that they have learned, we believe that they are able to relate better in the society. Yes, and that's helped them to be more independent too.
I think this environment provides our children with the breadth of repertoire of the humankind, and that allows them to be more productive and progressive in future. What we offer is the opportunity to be part of a society that is, in a sense, real, not covered up, not sheltered. Real conversations, real people who will respond to you, and based on how you treat them. And sometimes those responses are not going to be pretty. It's important for these children to experience those things at this age to build up their resilience. Like what I say, it's not how many times you fall down, but it's how fast you get up. I heard from somewhere, someone said that the cost of caring is expensive, but the cost of not caring is unaffordable. So I believe that what we are doing now sets the stage for society in the future.